Hello YouTube, and welcome back to Supreme Commander 2. Today, we have something a little bit special. We are on the map Holy Terra, featuring J-Wix, Rainbows and Unicorns, Zadaika, Foxtermelon, Avasi, Titan RT, Wakanda, and Carboom. Pretty much all of these guys are relatively well-known players. Got the Eco Viewer up, courtesy of Alpha Hex. And, yeah. This is kind of a longer one, so I'm actually going to speed the game back up while I do intros. And we're going to see what happens. Now, I have cast one other match on this map. And I thought at first this was literally the same map, but then I realized that the one I already cast on here had Ixen in this spot here in South America. So this is a different replay, and I have been spoiled a little bit, but I don't know how we got there, how it happens, or what else goes on. I just know that there's some cool moments, and apparently Foxtermelon sent me this on the Discord and presented this as a challenge to cast. So let's I'm looking forward to seeing what we get up to here. This should be interesting. I just realized I don't have any game music, because I turned it down for live stream. Let me know in the comments if you want the music back on, just even quietly in the background, or if you prefer it just game noises and me. But in the meantime, let's look at what players are up to. So Foxtermelon, he's opened with 2 land factories and a research. He's up to 4.5 mass per second already, so he's doing all right. He's going to be up against, most likely, he's playing as Illuminate against his fellow Illuminate, Zedzaika, going double research into first air. Now, Zedzaika is a very, very good player. We saw him in the last tournament that I co-casted with Titan. If you saw my 6-hour stream on Subcom recently, then you know who Zedzaika is. Zedzaika is a very good player. Looking forward to see what happens between these two. In the Europe position, also Illuminate, we have Titan going first research into second air, and looking like he's going for some early eco expansion. Although everybody's kind of doing that, so he might have some. Let's see. In fact, we can look to see. No, he's not. He's not floating. He's just spending a lot of it on early fighters and early mass extractors. So he's not really floating anything. Against him, most likely in the Africa position, is J-Wix, also playing Illuminate, going double research and fast taking all of the available mass. No factories or anything. Floating the most mass because he's just taking the entire African subcontinent using his commander in Madagascar. He's going to be completely vulnerable to any attacks here should they come in. So this will be interesting. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 Illuminates so far. So this should I'm sure this is going to be a game of all time. Playing in the, I guess this is the, because this is Europe, this is like Russia, so this is like the Siberian, I guess. This is Central Russia position. We have Carboom is the white Cybrin, our first non-Luminate, going double air, the only one not to do a research opener, and as a result, he's got a lot more fighters out than any of the other players did. Looking like he's going to go for some fast expansion as well. Probably going to be up against the India player in some form or fashion. Speaking of our Indian player, playing in the only UEF so far, going double air, double research here in the first few minutes of this game. Already building the TAC missile extension for this air factory to harass some of this mass extractors down here. We have Wakanda. Wakanda, another very, very good player. We got a lot of good players. This is a pretty stacked lobby, honestly. J-Wix, Zadaika, Avasi, and Titan, and Wakanda, I'm all pretty familiar with. They're very good, and I've heard Rainbow's name before. I've seen Foxtermelon in the Discord, and I've heard Carboom's name before. So these are all players of some note in some form or fashion here. In the Japan position, playing as our second UEF, purple UEF here, we have the man himself. We have Avasi going into research, air, and naval openings here, taking lots of mass here in the islands. Avasi is absolutely dominating the tournament scene right now, and I really mean dominating. He's far and above ahead in the tournament rankings for the year so far. with J-Wix being the only one coming close, and he's like a solid 40 tournament points behind or something like that, or 30 or something like that. And then last but not least, in the Australia position, playing once again as Illuminate, we have Rainbows and Unicorns going double air, double, triple research here in the first 6 minutes or so. So he's going to be, I think, hard pressed against the UEF naval spam here. He's transporting something in, but it's going to get shot down by the Mastodon cruisers, who do have some pretty decent anti-air to bring to bear. Speaking of which, they are already harassing his mass extractors. Hopefully he can get something up and running as the Illuminate here to deal with the UEF Navy. UEF Navy going to be very strong here. Let's zoom out. Let's get the bigger picture here. I wish we could have the mini-map. I might actually put this in here because it feels kind of awkwardly. This is enough to see who's who. Tell by the color as well. I'll expand it out every so often. Worth noting, by the way, J-Wix super ahead on research points. Stockpiling for something. He's making the most research per minute. He's making the second most mass per minute. So J-Wix doing very well for himself here. And actually, I think he is making the most. Somebody else was reclaiming. So he's doing quite good. In the meantime, we have some action happening over here that I've been missing over on the left side of the map. Let's zoom out here. Let's get a quick overview of exactly what's going on. We're all over the place. We've got some action between the naval forces, 2 UEF players, Wakanda and Avasi, both getting into the water here, going to be harassing each other a little bit. This is an odd triangle that happens down here on this map in the bottom right section between Australia, Japan, and India. They often get into naval and air shenanigans against each other. The Russian player often gets left alone for a little bit, but eventually Japan and India both come to harass them. In the meantime, we have Zedaika already under some pretty gnarly harassment here from Foxtermelon. Foxtermelon in with those classic big funny floaty tanks, the Yenzus. Gonna come across and start harassing the main base, looking to kill maybe some core mass in these early research. The commander's gonna be forced out over here to deal with this personally. Should have enough health, I think, to deal with this amount of tanks. Right? Yeah, no, he's gonna handle this. But in the meantime, combat happening over here on these land factories. One of them's gone down. We've got Foxtermelon pretty unharassed so far. So Zedaika under lots of pressure here. We'll have to look to see how he handles this. It's worth noting, Foxtermelon has brought his commander to bear here against Zedaika and is building those Illuminate point defenses, which are so annoying in his main base. It's going to be deeply frustrating. Meanwhile, we have Titan starting to harass J-Wix here. Got the bombers out. J-Wix well on the top of the game, though. He's got the factory shield and the anti-turrets up. Going to lose a bunch of these fighters for free here. Looks like he killed... Nope, didn't kill anything. No losses for J-Wix here. Titan throwing away some fighters there. Naughty, Titan. Tisk, you know better. Gonna go up to the energy stacking. Probably gonna pull these fighters away and gonna withdraw from combat with J-Wix for now, if I had to imagine. He's probably going to reconsider the all-air play if I were him, looking to maybe experimentals, or double down on it instead because he's fighting an Illuminate, and go for gunships maybe could be fun. We'll see what happens. In the meantime, he is expanding into the Greenland, you know, getting into this North American subcontinent over here. On this map, Greenland acts as the land connection between these two. Meanwhile, huge fight going on between Wakanda and Karboom here, fighting for air dominance over the Asian continent here. Whoever takes air dominance here will be set to kill the other and expand, and it looks like it's going to be Wakanda. Makes sense. These UEF Wasps are better at the air-to-air combat, and they've got the shield upgrades. These Cybran fighters do not have the shield upgrades. I don't think they had it a second ago, but it's possible I just couldn't quite make it out. We're kind of going to draw for now, but he does have the numbers advantage. Doesn't want to take the fight over top of the factory AA. Very wise of him. Karboom very happy to continue with all air production here. Wakanda actually fighting for the air control here. He's going to know that this is important for putting out some force, some show of power on his side of the map. He's in a very awkward position. He's in a position to be pincered by up to 4 players here. He's kind of awkwardly hemmed in by these mountains. It's not easy to expand out of his area unless he expands into the Australian area or into the Saudi Arabian Middle East area over here, which puts him into direct conflict with J-Wix right now, and he's probably going to be pretty well aware of that at this point. Meanwhile, we do see Avasi harassing our Rainbows here pretty well. Rainbows being forced to build the slip tacks to deal with the amount of Mastodon cruisers here, which are just harassing him constantly. The Illuminate's going to struggle to get anything done here against the quick long-range UEF Navy. It's worth noting, however, that the subs are pretty useless against floating tanks. Yeah, they have to come up out of the water to engage, and the tanks, they have such low health that the tanks can get on top of them pretty well. Awasi going to be instead opting to use these subs to harass the naval position for Wakanda. Meanwhile, on the other side of that, while this is happening, we do have a continued fight here. The main base for Zadaika is down. Core mass have all been destroyed. We are going to see him plummet in the mass per second here now at the bottom of the scoreboard. Struggling to recover here. Going to force Foxtermelon off of his continent for now, but we do see another attack coming in from the north here, coming in across the Panama Canal, or what would be if there was a canal here. Going to be attacking the factories here. We've got Fistouches in play here. All the Yinzu's going to be forced to come back. Going to lose the factory. Going to lose the mass extractor. We have a single turret here for the defense and a shielded factory. Is this enough? We'll see. Turret's going to take the engagement. Energy generators going down. Engineers going down. This is, I think Zadaika is going to be able to recover here, but it is most certainly not looking good for him. He is going to finally retake core mass. We're not looking so good yet. Avasi establishing a lot of naval dominance here. The subs here for Wakanda are not enough. He cannot fend off this navy and fight for air control with Carboom. So my guess is that we might actually see Wakanda getting forced out here by the UEF Navy pretty quickly. He's going to be forced to cockroach survive somewhere, if I had to guess. Maybe not now, but rather soon. I think he's just in too awkward a position. I don't like this India spawn. But we'll see what he can manage. We'll see what he can manage. He certainly doesn't have the forces to deal with this UEF Navy right now. He's going to have to build something to deal with that, and rather quickly, as we have Poseidon battleships moving in his direction. Do finally see some counter harassment across here from our good friend Zadaika, harassing Foxtermelon. We've got Yunzu's teleporting around, harassing and pushing back. These two are going to be at it for quite some time, I think. I don't really think either of these two are in a position to lose or win their respective matches just yet. We're going to see the teleport, I imagine, here at some point. Yep, there it is. Going to go in, do some damage to the back lines here, kill some units. Zadaika playing very conservatively with the units he does have in an attempt to slow down Foxtermelon as much as possible while they fight for control of the Americas over here. Big engagement happening now. Lots of fighters just kind of standing overhead. Bombers coming in, though, to drop some bombs on these UF ships, and the cluster bombs are going to make this fairly effective at dealing with this, provided they can maintain some air control. And the AA continues to shoot down the fighters, which is what the fighters are there to do, is to absorb the hits. Are going to slowly wear down these Mastodons. We are completely at a loss for naval control here. And the big air fight happening out over Wakanda space, getting pincered just as I suspected he might. Carboom fighting now for the air control, because if he can kill these wasps, guess what? He's got multi-purpose fighters that can drop bombs after winning the air fight, and they're going to be looking to do exactly that. And sure enough, we do see Wakanda forced off of his starting position, going to go cockroach survive somewhere, hoping to escape into the African subcontinent somewhere, I imagine. Subcontinent. Main continent. Over here somewhere, maybe into the Saudi Arabia area. Maybe he's going to come and try to steal Madagascar. We'll see what he does, but it's worth noting that there is a substantial air force out for J-Wix. If he finds this commander exposed and decides to kill him, he will do it. So Wakanda, perhaps intelligently for the time being, going to stay in the water. Meanwhile, the Purple Navy for Avasi going to be forced to withdraw, perhaps as he recognizes the threat he has to deal with out of Carboom, who's also fighting for control over the Asia continent right now. He's also not out of this game. He's been relatively unharassed due to his geographical location on this map. Going to mean that this Navy's pretty useless against him, and now bombers are harassing him, harassing Avasi for free. Meanwhile, Avasi congregating the Navy here, not really sure who to go after with it, because he could go after our good friend Rainbow's down here, but Rainbow's meanwhile has recovered. He's going to have these teleporting tanks up now or soon. He's got bombers going after the battleships and slowly bombing them out. Going to be slow. Bombers lacking some upgrades, and battleships are extremely tanky, but it's going to be a messy fight over here. These four players are going to be involved in each other's business constantly, and keep in mind this is a free-for-all, so it may not be in Avasi's best interest to finish off either one of these guys. Well, this guy gets strong. He wants one of them to recognize he's strong. If Wakanda gets back into the air game, he can help Avasi by attacking Carboom in the air, dealing with these fighters and taking the pressure off, meaning that he doesn't have to leave his navy here at home. Right now, Avasi has to leave his navy at home in an attempt to defend. He doesn't have any air, so he's got to leave the navy here to deal with these bombers. Yeah, these bombers are going to be a problem. Is that no? Those are stray bombs. For a second, I thought that was cyber and artillery coming up, but no, not quite. Let's put a pause on the replay real quick and take stock of exactly what's going on. So real fast, it looks like Boxer Melon has stabilized. Going to come out probably ahead, I have to imagine, against Zadaika. Yeah, very much ahead in the mass per second and the research. Zadaika on the back foot. He has suffered some damage, though, some right harassment. He's gathering another attack force, but he doesn't look like he has the forces just yet to push him out of this game. But it's extremely, extremely, extremely close. Zadaika, meanwhile, looking like he's going to give up on the South American continent, is evacuating his commander at half or 2/3 health under the ocean. Probably maybe looking with the illuminate floating technology to set up a base out on the water somewhere. There's nowhere else for him to really retreat to, so he's gonna have to find a place to go live if he's gonna give up on South America. And I think that's probably the best possible course of action for him right now, because he does not have the forces to fend off this attack and this attack. This is the end of him if he stays. And he knows that he's a good player. He's gonna get out of there and try to survive anyway. Yeah, which is gonna leave Fox strong position. Meanwhile, we have Titan. Titan and J-Wix have been pretty much staying out of each other's business in the European and South African, just the African as a whole. So South Africa start, but J-Wix has quickly assumed control of this entire area. He owns all of this. He's got land factories. He's got lines of energy going up all over the damn place. This is hilarious. He's up to he's up to 50 mass per tick. Titan trying to catch up to him, up to 38, almost 39. Got an Illuminator, so he's well aware, most likely, of J-Wix's position and the fact that he's behind. He's going to need to get those energy converters out if he wants to make up the difference. 50 mass per tick is wild. J-Wix going to be feeling very confident, I imagine, right now. Doesn't have a huge force, but he's got plenty of air coverage over here, knowing that Titan is all in on air at the moment. Sure enough, we do see the energy converters queued up here for Titan, looking to make up that difference and catch up economically while he continues to gather his fighters, I imagine. Gonna stick with air, it looks like, for right now. These two are poised to be a huge problem for each other and pretty much no one else, but it's worth noting that Titan's position is a little bit more tenuous. Less anti-air, less shielding, less spread out, more vulnerable to AoE damage. Does have a nuke defense up already, well and truly prepared for somebody to be up to some nuke shenanigans. It's a free-for-all on a large map. You might as well expect it to happen eventually. J-Wix not prepared for the nuke, but doesn't look like anybody has actually gone for the nuke silos, so Titan's the only one prepared for it, but unnecessarily so for the time being. Now then, moving on from these two, we've got this next pairing. We've got India and Russia. Carboom pretty much unharassed. Not really a whole lot to his name right now. He's about 30 mass, and he's got some air factories, and kind of about it. Interesting to see what his play is. Maybe he feels like he can't really expand towards the water because of all of this UEF Navy that's around. So he's building very compact for the factory shields. He's going to be well prepared and able to harass our India player here. Vakanda's very much exposed in multiple fronts, multiple directions here. Speaking of, he is the first one to get up to experimentals, I believe. Double checking that. Yep. So he's going into air gantry. He's probably going to be going into AC-1000s and looking for the snipe kill on someone to relieve some of the pressure he's facing. AC-1000 spam, if he gets up to 10, 12, 15 of those, also going to be extremely effective at quickly taking care of large amounts of these naval forces, especially with air coverage to eat some of those shots. Trying to get back into the water as well. Not sure how I feel about this. I think if you're going to go the AC-1000s, if I were him, I would dedicate all of my effort on this, because with this point, you're not really going to be able to get back. It's going to be very difficult for you to do that. But he's a much better player than I am, so maybe, he's got some intel on that I don't. I would love to know what you guys feel in the comments. Is there a reason for him to go back into the water here? Meanwhile, we have Rainbow still maintaining control over the Australia continent, Australia spawn position. Nice big Illuminate land army going up here. Immune to submarine torpedoes, going to be able to teleport around and deal with this UEF Navy, which has been forced to stay at home to deal with the bombers coming out of Khartoum. But he has an impressively large UEF Navy, and any coastal positions are pretty much forfeit to Iwasi right now. If he decides to send some Navy out to kill you, he's going to kill something that's in range. Now, he might give up his base to do it because of all these bombers, but he would do quite a bit of damage. In the meantime, though, he's going to leave his commander in the water to avoid the bombing run, and probably look to position some of this Navy to help him kill these bombers. Alright, that's our positions. I mean, you can see the eco numbers up here in the top left. Let's get right back into the replay. I'll give Foxmelon credit. He was right. This is a challenge to cast. There's just a lot happening. With these high-level players, there's a lot to take stock of at a given time. We do not see AC-1000s coming out. Oh my god, he's doing air fortresses. That's hilarious. I love that. I love that. I love that. I love that. You never see air fortresses in high-level gameplay just because you so rarely get to the point where you can afford them. We do see a Zadaika being forced out of his spawn here. He's going to be forced to kind of survive somewhere. Don't know where, but somewhere. Some of the Navy being split off here to harass the Australia position for Rainbows. Avasi positioning very well against this brick of Gemini fighter bombers from the Cybern player Carboom. Titan and Jawix continuing to just build fighters and scale eco. They are well aware who their current threat is, and they are well aware that they need to prep to do something about it. Jawix gonna look like the more prepared of the two, in my opinion. Light harassment coming out with the Fistouche mobile missile launchers here. Gonna look to slowly do so. Titan gonna set a single energy generator to overcharge and kill that mobile missile launcher. That's hilarious. That's actually quite funny. Yeah, these two are prepping to kill each other. There's gonna be a big fight between these two guys at some point. 20 minutes into this replay. Let's go ahead and speed the time up just a little bit. I'm sure this is going to be a longer one. Big bombing runs coming out here. Going to be looking to inflict some damage, it looks like. Ooh. Going to be losing that naval factory there. More bombings coming in. Another naval factory going to go up. Does have the masks and research gun upgrades to help slow down this airwave, but they're shielded and there's a lot of them. Going to be pretty difficult to actually get the kill here. Torpedoes coming out to get the drop on this sea factory. Torpedo upgrade for the Eagle Eyes, though, going to mean that these submarines can now be harassed from the air, which is beautiful. Maybe that's what he was hoping for, is to use the Eagle Eyes to suppress Navy and get back into the water slowly over time. But the torpedoes, for now, are going to be enough. The Tiger Sarge submarine is going to be enough to shut this down. Oh, looks like we do have the first set of combat gearing up here between Titan and Jawix. We definitely don't want to miss that. I might miss an ejection if Zadaika gets cornered by somebody while I'm focusing on this combat. I apologize in advance just in case that happens. Big bombs being dropped all over Avasi's base right now. Now going after the actual military capabilities, killing the ships left, right, and center. There's just too many bombers here and not enough anti-air to do anything about it. All of the positions here can be slowly shut down for Avasi. Avasi may even get forced out by Carboom here. This is just a lot of bombers to deal with. He is trying to harass Rainbows in the same time, so a lot of his force is not here. Being called back to home now after inflicting some damage and taking some losses, but it might be too little too late for his main base. Yeah, this is a lot of bombers doing a lot of bad things. Did not see the engage happen between Titan and Jawix just yet. I hate that I can't have a mini-map up during replays. You have to catch a live match for that. Nice bombs being dropped, though. Oh, Awasi's just suffering immensely in Cybern Air Force problems. Gonna divert some Mastodons here to start wearing out some of these mass extractors for Carboom. Get some revenge damage here, although those are gonna be able to be pretty easily bombed out here. Yeah. Gonna one-pass a ship every time, pretty much. Although he is gonna take some losses, it's worth noting. So it's at least not completely free. Oh, man! Experimental Factory gonna get caught by Carboom, but it's too late. There's already Mega Fortresses out and about, and they are gonna contribute significantly to the anti-air here. They have really incredibly powerful anti-air missiles as well as the production facilities, but we are gonna see them start to go down here. Not enough anti-air present for Wakanda. He simply doesn't have enough mass and is trying to multitask a little bit too much. He didn't get to the critical mass of the air gantry of the air fortresses, unfortunately. Is for sure gonna cost Carboom a lot of air, though. I have no doubt that he lost quite a few fighters in that engagement. Yeah, that's a significantly smaller brick of fighters there for Carboom. So Carboom has taken some losses in the air, which is exactly what Avasi wanted. He wanted these two to fight each other. Carboom had no choice to engage this because he could see on the radar that it was getting pretty big over there. So he has to go do something about it, and so he did. Jay Wicks, what are you up to, bud? Jay Wicks is up to nukes. Oh man, I feel like I know what's gonna happen based on the spoiler I got from Foxtermelon. We'll see though. Avasi now gonna come in to further harass poor Wakanda over here. Wakanda just caught in this pretty eternal 2v1, unfortunately. This is kind of funny, but also very unfortunate for him. I imagine this is frustrating for him to deal with in the moment. Zadaika, meanwhile, has in fact continued to scumbag survive under the water with lots of engineers and his commander and very minimal mass points. In fact, one singular mass extractor, a couple research stations, and some tanks, and that's pretty much it. Gonna kill the engineer here, very irritatingly, to Foxtermelon. Foxtermelon, meanwhile, is catching up on the eco game as he takes over South America. Yeah, I think Wakanda's going to get pretty much forced out here. These Poseidon battleships parked within range of his entire base. Going to be pretty clinical for him, I think. Going to be pretty clinical. Rainbow's, having suffered a lot of damage from the naval harassment, is starting to eco-scale, but it's going to be a little bit late. I think Avasi's going to be free to run away with the game on the right side of the map. He's going to get rid of this player. He's going to be able to concentrate his efforts after that on Carboom. So it'll be up to Carboom to slow Avasi or stop Avasi before he kills Rainbow and gets control of this entire right side. Can Carboom do it? Look forward to that. Meanwhile, Wakanda is, for all intents and purposes, dead, but he's not out. His commander's still alive, going to survive in the water, having not been discovered by any radar, sonar, submarines, anything of the like. No ejections out of this game yet is crazy, by the way. We are 27 minutes in. We're going to speed it up again. At some point soon, my game will no longer be able to keep up with it. We have EMP missiles coming out of Jay Wicks here. Looks like he suffered some bombing runs while I wasn't quite paying attention. Gonna knock all the shielding out for Titan. Yeah. Carboom gonna teleport. We've got some teleporting mobile missile launchers here, looking to do some damage. What did they kill there? A nuke silo? Looks like a nuke silo. Titan also going into nuke silo. Is going to use the overcharge on the energy to deal with those mobile missile launchers. Wakanda, I don't even think he died. I think he just control K'd, knowing that he was pretty well and truly out of the game. Rip Wakanda. This India position is a very rough start. If you don't get aggressive, go kill someone and take some land, I think. India position needs to murder the Russia position and migrate, in my opinion. Try to maintain control, but that's a very difficult ask. This is probably the hardest spawn on this map, to me. Yeah, Avasi looking pretty stable here. He's not in the lead by any stretch of the imagination. In fact, he's actually the most behind in terms of mass per second, but it's a very nice military. Got Atlantis aircraft carriers coming out as well. The UAF Navy going to be a pretty rough contender for him, I think. For anybody else around him, rather. We see some intercontinental combat here. I think J-Wix is looking for a snipe on Foxtermelon. Uh-oh. And we do have some nukes coming up and about and getting ready to be used. These two are positioning for the air fight here. Strategic launch detected. There goes the nuke. Strategic launch from somewhere. Nukes out. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Nukes out from J-Wix. All over the damn place. Oh god. Okay, alright. Oh shit. Who all was prepared? Hold on. Let's pause. Who was prepared for the nukes? Not Avasi. Not rainbows. Titan was. Uh, Boxtermelon is, but perhaps recently there's nukes flying everywhere from J-Wix. J-Wix is launching nukes at every single player on the board. Boxtermelon with some nukes of his own gonna fire back at J-Wix. Looking forward to seeing what happens with that. Carboom gonna absolutely eat shit here. Was not prepared for the anti-nuke at all. Too little, too late on that. You need to get your commander out of there because you are gonna be primed and ready to get sniped. Air factory's going down. The nuke silo's going down. Carboom's entire main base going up in flames. Oh my god. Wait a minute. Is this going for the fighters? No way. No. No. Okay. Alright. Slowing the game down here to get an eyeball on where these nukes are going to land. More nukes coming out of J-Wix. Titan choosing not to fire any yet, whether for lack of having them prepped or from wanting to keep his damn mouth shut while this happens. But we do see some nukes going in Titan's direction. We'll have to see if his nuke defense holds. Strategic launch detected. Another explosion rocking everyone's base. Japan going up, South America going up. Hoping to catch Titan's fighters out here. Not quite going to manage. Titan's coming out of... Titan's nukes coming out and flying in J-Wix's direction. Boxermelon's nuke going to hit J-Wix's silos, I think. Yeah, looks like those hit the silos. Nukes flying all over the damn place. Jesus Christ. Japan still up in flames. South America in flames. Oh, man. Crazy. Keep watching. This nuke looks like it was going to go hit where Titan originally had his fighters stationed, or just take out this energy. Probably both. Was probably aiming for both there. Yeah. And gonna hit nukes, more nukes into the middle of Foxtermelon's base. Gonna wipe out some production. Not really able to take out any key infrastructure, though. Crucially, the Foxtermelon is spread out so much that an individual nuke can't really do that much damage to him. A couple mass extractors going down to the nukes here for Avasi. More nukes impacting people's main bases. He got hit pretty hard, but thankfully his army has survived. A lot of his production up here in the top right has survived. In Yakutsk. Siberian Peninsula. Oh man, huge air fight coming out between Titan and J-Wix. This has been building all game, all match. This has been waiting to happen. It's beautiful. In the meantime, more nukes flying here, there, and everywhere. Oh my god, he's gonna nuke the air fight. Titan teleporting in with the gunships. What did I say about going for gunships earlier? I'm so glad he did it. Nuke's gonna impact the air fight. Gonna take out some of these fighters. J-Wix's fighters gonna teleport at the last second. Nuke's impacting J-Wix's main base, killing even more of the silos. Counter battery coming up from Foxtermelon and Titan all over the damn place. We've got Rainbow's fighters in the mix over here with Titan's gunships and J-Wix's fighters. This is hilarious. We've got a three-way aerial dogfight out happening right now. Gunships looking for that commander. They want that commander. They know that commander's here somewhere, but J-Wix is too smart. He's already got his commander in the water. Titan gonna be happy to kill all the production instead, I have to imagine. More nukes going out into the main base of Titan here. Gonna impact on the edge of the defense. Yep. Gonna get some of the production here. There it goes. Gonna get some bunch of the energy generators. Here it goes. speed the game back up now that nukes are done flying. Gunships doing their level best to kill as much shit as they possibly can. Titan taking as many of these fights over the base as he can. Another nuke silo gonna get launched. And gonna impact directly into the middle of the base. Oh! Bunch of fighter bombers go down for Titan there. Very nice nuke from JWix. Gonna kill a bunch of shit there. But the gunships are still absolutely murdering everything here. Another nuke's gonna land in the middle of JWix's own base and kill every single gunship. Jesus. That's crazy. Every single gunship there gonna die to a single nuke. Wild. Look at all the gunship corpses there on the ground. That's deeply unfortunate for Titan, but he does still have a pretty sizable air dominance over here over top of JWix's area, and there's now, without any silos left to deal with this, JWix is going to be pretty hard pressed to put a stop to it now, I think, unless he's got another clever nuke out and about ready to use. Having said that, shit, there it goes. Gonna nuke himself. Gonna nuke that silo, hoping to catch the fighters out, and it's gonna miss. Titan gonna get away with a pretty clean bombing campaign here, trying to kill. Oh! Oh no! That's so unlucky for Titan. Oh man. Titan, the nukes are a physical projectile and can impact things mid-launch, so it's not going to have to go up and come back down. It is instead going to impact the fighter cloud directly over top of the silo and kill them all. And that was about 200 fighters immediately eating the nuke to the face with no possible way to react to that ever. And just dying instantly. Yeah, evaporating. Gonna immediately shut down all of the pressure on JWix's base, and all things considered, his mass extractors are mostly rebuilt. He's got plenty of energy spread out. He still has production. He has nuke silos up, and Titan doesn't have a military, and half of his base has been exploded. So, that's terrible. That's awful. That's so funny. I've seen that happen a few times. Very rarely, but it's always so good. That's fucking hilarious. I love that. Meanwhile, TAC missiles gonna come out here for Foxmelon in the middle of the European continent. You're gonna drop some TAC missiles on Carboom, Control K, and dip. More nuclear missiles coming out of Titan, attempting to avenge the loss of his fighters, because Jesus Christ, how else do you come back from that? That's awful. I bet he was so mad when that happened. He had to have been in complete disbelief about that. Meanwhile, Zadaika is not dead. He has, in fact, started to survive on the water, just as I kind of predicted that he would. We've got energy generators going up. We have mass extractors. He's taken over the Indian continent, sent an engineer all the way out there. Nobody stopped him. He's just got that, so he's alive somewhere. Foxmelon has taken over the entirety of the left side of the map. Avasi is not dead, not doing great, but he's got a lot of energy going on. He's got a lot of production coming up. I don't really see any mass or energy converters. No, he's got some. They're just dotted around. Very nice, very clever. Got them spread around so that they can't all be insta-killed. We've got a space temple out of somebody here. It looks like it's out of Rainbows. Yes, it is. Rainbows has built the space temple and a loyalty gun. Incredible that he's built the loyalty gun. Spain's going to get nuked off the face of the earth there. Was that Foxmelon or JWix? Speaking of Foxmelon now in with another huge airball over the top of JWix's base. Can JWix replicate his luck? Because if he can, that would be incredible. Titan launching nukes left, right, and center. JWix launching nukes left, right, and center. A big portion of the airball is going to get nuked out of the sky. More nukes dropping into JWix's base. More bombs dropping into JWix's base. JWix under pressure from Foxmelon and Titan all at the same time. Huge portions of his base going up in absolute smoke. His commander is hiding off the tip of South Africa here. hoping to hide and weather the storm. It's worth noting that he's not dead here. He still has some production up. He still has energy, but he's not looking great. And we've got Rainbow out here with the Space Temple engineer building tac missiles, and those tac missiles are going to start having a toll on top of all of this. More nukes coming out, and it looks like we're going to see Foxmelon start to take out some key infrastructure here. Doesn't get the energy converters. Maybe he missed them. Not sure what he's looking for. Maybe he's looking for the anti-nukes. He's killing the anti-nukes. Foxmelon with more nukes out into the air. Meanwhile, we see Avasi finally engaging with his navy again after a long period of inactivity. He's going to fight Rainbows, having noticed the Space Temple up and about. Not happy with that. Going to send in the Poseidon battleships to solve that fucking problem immediately. And solve it they will. Yinzus are great, but they are not enough to handle Poseidons in that number. Look at this brick of Atlantis aircraft carriers. He is absolutely getting into the air game. Make no mistake about that, ladies and gentlemen. Meanwhile, Foxmelon, having finished harassing the shit out of J-Wix, is going to go for the anti-nuke of Titan, and if he gets it, you better believe there's going to be some nukes dropping into his base. One anti-nuke goes up. Second anti-nuke going to get targeted immediately, I have to imagine. Titan going to launch nukes up. Self-nuking to try to catch down the fighters. No, he's going to launch it straight at J-Wix. He's going to nuke J-Wix again. Strategic launch detected. And there it goes. Going to kill another of the energy grids there for J-Wix. The anti-nukes for Titan are down. Rainbows is going to go down to the Poseidons. I knew I was going to miss an ejection somewhere. I do apologize for that. Rainbows is going to get sniped by the Poseidon battleships. Unfortunate. Going to get wiped out. And now the right side of the map, as I predicted, is going to go to Avasi. Carboom needs to do something right now if he wants to stop that from happening. But there goes the nukes. Titan had another anti-nuke ready and waiting. Gonna shut that down. Not gonna see the nukes into the middle of his base here today, no sir, but we are gonna see the bombers kill pretty much everything else, so that's really unfortunate for him. More nukes into Titan's base, or into J-Wix's base. J-Wix under the most insane nuclear pressure here I've ever seen. We've got nuclear missile silos coming back up for him. We've got the Bubble Dow experimental shield destroyer coming back up for him. His commander is back on the land. That's dangerous. With all these nukes and bombers flying overhead, I have to question that, I have to be honest. But we do see Will find you experimental sea hunters going up, and I don't know how to feel about that. Don't know how to feel about that. Foxmelon with more nukes coming up and about. This has been an immensely long replay. What is the world is J-Wix doing with these sea hunters? I have to wonder. They can't actually be good. They're kind of a meme. But I guess if they actually get into an engagement range, they are quite effective at killing single targets. Meanwhile, yet another air blob over the top of J-Wix's base here, looking to kill key infrastructure, production structures, and anti-nukes is my guess. Factories and anti-nukes is going to be the target here. And energy conversion, I would hope or think. There it goes. Energy converters out. J-Wix's rebuilt air is going to go down. Anti-air batteries trying their damnedest to shoot, and they just can't do it. Look at the hollow flares doing just the most heinous shit ever. They can't get there. The anti-air can't get there. This is awful. Hollow flare is a balanced, and definitely not at all broken upgrade for Aeon fighters. 100%. 100%. TAC missiles are going to go down here. It looks like something got bombed out by somebody somewhere. Universal Colossi now are out and about and going to march straight into J-Wix's base, and J-Wix does not have an answer of any kind for these. This is the end of the line here for J-Wix. It's looking like with these bombers overhead and the Universal Colossi marching in, Titan finally has enough. Win into the experimentals is going to start doing something about it here. Meanwhile, we'll see more and more and more air production coming up for Foxmelon. He doesn't want experimentals. He doesn't want anything. Doesn't need land units. He wants bombers and nuclear missiles, and you know what? It's working, so I support this 100%. Meanwhile, Zadaika finally going to get kicked off the Indian side of the Indian spawn here by the Poseidons and the Mastodons. He's taking the Australian continent. Suddenly Avasi is looking absolutely massive. Foxmelon, finally having taken all of his side of the board, is now going to be in the lead for mass, with J-Wix having been bombed back into the Stone Age. Yeah, going to be understandably struggling a little bit to keep up. Having said that, though, he's still at 40 mass per second. So, again, don't mistake him for dead. He suffered a lot of attrition, but he's not dead. And these Colossi can only be in 2 places at once at most. And right now they're choosing to be in 1. The energy generator gun will kill them eventually. Is it going to take a fucking long-ass time? Yes. Yes, it is. But they will kill him. They'll get there. Believe me, they'll get there. Jaywick's keeping his commander in the water, hiding from these bombers, hiding from these Colossi. Eagle Eyes out from Avasti, looking for vulnerable commanders. If he finds him, he might just decide to kill him. We'll see. He kind of might want him alive for the time being, though, as a barrier to Foxtermelon. Foxtermelon going to get huge on the side of the map. Meanwhile, though, unbeknownst to everybody, Zadaika is alive, building anti-nukes, building a shield wall, building factories. He's got an energy grid. I imagine we're going to have conversion going down somewhere. Yep, there it is. In the back lines here, we've got a line of energy conversion spaced out so they can't be chain killed. Up to convert all of this, and Zadaika is going to be doing just fine. Mass per second in the eco viewer doesn't talk about what he's getting from the energy conversion because it's not a consistent thing. It's an activated ability, which is unfortunate for the income stats, but it'll be okay because he's gonna be doing just fine here in a little bit. If he gets left alone for too much longer, we could see him actually come back into this game in a really meaningful way. Meanwhile, Carboom is gonna get absolutely obliterated. No anti-nukes on his key infrastructure here, but we're gonna see the boomerang out of his main base. Direct that nuke directly back into Titan's face. That is hilarious. Titan didn't scout before firing the nuke. Didn't see the boomerang. Boomerang's gonna drop into his base. Titan throws in the towel. Wow. Titan, I think, quitting out a little bit prematurely there, knowing, though, that the redirected nuke from the boomerang was going to mess up his base in a pretty significant way. Also, to be fair to Titan, worth noting that he is going to be pincered. Once Jaywick dies, he is the next target for Foxtermelon or Avasi. It's Avasi or Foxtermelon's game at this point. Let's be real. Foxtermelon with more nukes coming out. Jaywick isn't dead, isn't giving it up, but he's pincered between the 2 best players besides himself, I think, in this match right now. In terms of who has the potential to win, Foxtermelon and Avasi both have the resource control and the area map control to really win this game if they pull it off. It's going to be interesting to see what happens when they finally get to fight each other. More nukes into Jaywick's base. Let's go ahead and speed this game up a little bit. Looking more and more clinical here for the rest of these players. That being said, though, I would love to see what happens to Zadaika, because Zadaika has at some point, I don't know when, captured a UEF engineer and is mass spamming naval factories. Oh my god, he's gonna build Navy. That's hilarious. He's going to get 10 naval factories out for UEF, and it's going to shit out an unfathomable amount of Poseidons, I would assume. And submarines, I guess, maybe. Yeah, wow, that's... It hasn't been spoiled, so I don't actually know. And I think it would be the funniest shit ever if Zadaika wins. I almost hope he does, because that would be so funny. If he comes back from the corner here with the UEF tech to kill everybody, that would be incredibly just the funniest thing ever. Rip Titan, though, gonna eat the boomerang here, and recognizing that he was pretty much done for anyway. Gonna call it quits, unfortunately, and gonna be our 3rd ejection. Yeah. To be fair, he was up against the Jaywicks directly, Foxtermelon with the crossfire, Carboom with the crossfire, and Avasi taking over the entire right side of the map. So I actually can't really blame him too much here. Foxtermelon and Carboom going to be looking to pose up here for a pretty serious air fight, but this is Cybran Air versus Illuminate Air, and I have to wonder if the Hollow Flare is not going to just win this fight, but Foxtermelon curiously going to choose not to engage. Not looking to engage with Carboom right now. Probably wants Carboom alive to slow down the absolute juggernaut that is Avasi. Look at this. Look at this shit. Look at this ridiculousness. This is crazy. This is insane. Lots of Poseidon. That's got to be like what? I don't know. 3, 4, 5, 6. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I would guess coming up on 40 Poseidons, maybe. I'm not gonna sit here and count them, but I would guess coming up on 40 pretty quick. if it's not already there. Honestly, at this point, I think you just let these bombers work their magic. We've got experimental Sea Hunters up. Space Temple's going to go down. Sea Hunters are absolutely soon to follow. Make no mistake. There goes the experimental factories. Yeah. Six Sea Hunters going to make it off the line here for J-Wix. Let's go ahead and speed this game up to times 10, because at this point the slowdown's not going to let it process that quickly anyway. Gonna make a bit of a difference though. Just gonna stay in the zoomed out view here now, and wait to see if we get any major action happening. The offshore nuclear silos are hilarious. This is the Aeon's equivalent of nuclear submarines, building them in the water instead. Gonna go after Zadaika. He's finally realized Zadaika is truly well and good over here. Very much alive. Unfortunately, I've just realized that I don't think Zadaika has much in the way of anti-air. Yeah, he's got these crawdads, but against this much air, I'm not sure that's enough. The anti-nukes are going to be out and about and available, though, and this much air is not going to be enough. Foxmelon going to choose to go in here and engage anyway, I think. He's going to realize, I think, suddenly how truly seriously alive Zadaika is. Crawdad's not going to be enough to stop this, though. If Foxmelon were to pull the rest of his air forces here, it could reset Zadaika again. Lots of shields here, though. This much air is not going to cut it. Eventually, this much Crawdads will wear through the forces here. Yeah. Gonna be kind of losing these bombers for free at this point. I think he should at least go after the energy generators, because he's not going to get through these shields with this many. There's just too many shields here. Trying to get the anti-nukes. He's not going to get the anti-nuke. Yeah. Continuing the fight over the top of J-Wix's base here, slowly killing everything. He's left these fighters to their own devices now, and they are just going to slowly clear out this entire base, I think. Gonna wear it all out. Oh! Uh-oh. That's not good. I didn't notice this happening. We've got a whole nuclear battery coming up here for Avasi. He's got 5 silos, and he is not afraid to use them. We've got 5 nukes, one after the other, going somewhere. Probably after Carboom is my guess. Gonna build them away from his main base so that if he eats any boomerangs, they get the silos, but not the important infrastructure. Smart play. These are, in fact, going to be going all the way out across Carboom's base, looking for the holes in the defenses. If an anti-nuke or a boomerang isn't covering it, it's gonna get hit. Yep. There goes one. Redirector gonna get that one. Gonna kill the silos, but look at how much energy generators are gonna go down here. Quite a few. Lots of losses in the energy front here for Carboom. Not looking so great. He's one of the only ones other than Foxmelon that's below max energy showing. Now, the redirected nukes here are going to go kill these silos. That's okay. That's why Avasi built them down here. They're down here. Yeah. So that the silos can get hit by the redirections and not the other shit he cares about. He didn't lose any mass extractors. He's not going to lose any energy. He's going to lose, what, 1 mass extractor here? Yeah. 1 mass extractor and all the silos. Losing the silos does suck, but they did the damage they needed to do. They cleared this coastal area. Now the Poseidons can get in here and wail on the important stuff. Worth noting, we do have, I think that was Soul Rippers. Looks like Soul Rippers. Nope. Air Fortresses. We've got a captured UEF tech here. I didn't see that. I don't know where this happened, but someone wasn't paying attention to the engineers at some point with so much going on. It's completely understandable. Meanwhile, Foxmelon has redirected all of his efforts down here to getting rid of this tumor, this absolute tumor that Zadaika has become. But now we've got Poseidons contributing their anti-air in addition to the Crawdads and the factories. I'm actually curious to see what's going to happen with this fight. We are going to see one anti-nuke silo go down. I think if Zadaika is smart, he's going to pull the forces away from this position, knowing that the nuclear missile is going to be coming from Foxmelon, and retreat to the next shielded area in an attempt to continue shielding these anti-nukes. He needs these anti-nukes to stay alive. Losing one is going to be bad. He's going to open up the energy generators along this kind of a line, so a nuke could fly in from, like, Alaska, for example, right here, for say, and fly all the way into this back line pretty uncontested, I believe, now that there's not an anti-nuke there. So that does present a pretty large problem. That being said, though, a second anti-nuke is going to go down here, but we do see pretty gnarly losses coming out here for Foxmelon. I don't know how many he's lost. It's so hard to get a read on the numbers when they're blobbed up like this. But I have to imagine he's at least losing something to this much anti-air. No telling what kind of damage he's actually inflicting here. Meanwhile, Avasi's navy is engaging the air fortresses and bomber fleets for Carboom. Carboom now fighting for his position in this game. Carboom going to come out with his nukes of his own, probably going to try to intercept the navy here, and the navy's close enough, he will get it. The air fight happening over top of these naval units isn't the best, but there's so much air here, it doesn't really matter. Nuke's going to hit the front of the naval formation. How many Poseidons are going to go down here? It's going to be a lot. Oh yeah, going to get 5, 6, 7, 8, I think. I'll look back after the cloud clears. Meanwhile, Nuke's coming out from Foxmelon, looking to take Zadaika out of the game. They're going to go deep into the back lines. I guarantee it. Going to wipe out all this energy production that's here. Oh yeah, that's painful. That's so painful for Zadaika right now. That is the entirety of his economy because he's based on mass converters. Losing this energy generator means he's losing a lot of mass as well. Going to be super painful for him. But he did get the Navy started and producing. He does have anti-air up, and while Foxmelon just has so much air, though, this is not enough anti-air. You can build the anti-air towers on the water. I think Zadaika is going to need to step up the anti-air game if he wants to stay in this match. And he does have the land factories producing more and more of these crawdads, but it's not going to be enough right now. Jwix is still alive, by the way. He's been left alone in the face of these giants absolutely duking it out with each other. Avasi trying to take control of the Asian continent. And he's giving it his damnedest efforts, but his Poseidon fleet is completely destroyed. Nukes and bombers and sky fortresses are eventually gonna kill all of this. Mega fortresses are not to be underestimated. They're so expensive, but they have really good anti-air. They have decent combat against land. They have a lot of health, and they produce fighters rather quickly. Foxmelon is going to find this survival attempt out of Jwix. Going to bomb out the space temple here. He knows that this isn't, can't be allowed to go up because he will try to go for the snipe with the Sea Hunters. Foxmelon continuing to wear out Zadaika, does not want to get caught, it seems, and I don't blame him, in a fight between himself and Jwix. He's leaving Jwix mostly alone. Although saying that, the commander's here, and he's going to eat the nuclear missile. Gonna wear the shield out on that commander completely. He's gonna be forced to run all the way back into the water. Yeah. So Jwix gonna survive. Not gonna be able to take the green position, but he is alive. He is still in this game with a pretty decent income. 32 mass per second plus whatever he's got from converters. Foxmelon kind of a 2v1 situation here, but both of the players he's fighting are weakened and on the back foot. But it does mean his attention is gonna be pretty divided. So, interesting to see if he can pull out a win with his front here. Meanwhile, Avasi, yeah, he's killing these anti-nukes pretty well. Pretty readily. So, I think he's actually going to eventually pull ahead in this fight versus Zadaika. Not surprising given the situation Zadaika's in. Zadaika's absolutely made the best of a pretty rough situation here. And honestly, you know what? These crocodiles are starting to wear out these fighter bomber numbers pretty well, actually. Starting to wear them out incredibly well. The more they kill, the more concentrated their fire becomes. The quicker they kill them, the less there are. So this is gonna quickly scale out of his favor. As long as he keeps up at least some of these anti-nukes, he can keep all these fighters alive and he can start rebuilding the energy. Look at this. He's trying to rebuild the energy grid even as we speak. More nukes going to come in. Going to probably hit this southern area where the anti-nuke got killed. Going to hit the production and the shields, I have to guess. More combat happening. Oh my god, look at all these Atlantis carriers. The carriers here are absolutely going to keep Avasi in the air game. Big nuke gonna hit these mastodons, I think. Yeah. Oh, that sucks. He's gonna get some of them away, though. About half of them, though, at least gonna go up in the explosion. That's a rough nuke. But the mastodons at this point in time were not that important. Is Carboom actually gonna pull out the win here? He's missing half of his base due to the naval harassment, but unfortunately, without control over air, Avasi doesn't actually really have a way to affect the center of Carboom's base. Unless he nuke spams. Which, to be fair, look what he's doing. Sure enough, speak it into existence, why don't I? We see gunships finally coming up. Gunships are going to be a smart move here, I think, for Foxmelon to deal with this infection. This absolute infection that is Zadaika in the bottom left of the map. And look at Zadaika. He is spreading out. He's not done expanding. He's got more Navy coming up in super annoying places. Gonna force the split attention here from Foxmelon. Foxmelon can't go after his main base with anything other than these nukes if he's busy making sure that his entire economy isn't being wiped out by 6 battleships. And here we see a flank. He's gonna be forced to deal with this side and then this side. Or send a smaller force after this one, but I don't know that this is enough fighters to kill this, actually. I guess it is with the burn damage. Yeah, and never mind, this is plenty. The burn damage upgrade and the gunship is going to mean this is plenty. I couldn't actually see how many are there. It's quite a few bombers. It's going to slowly clean this up, but look, the South American continent has been more or less cleared. The Daika's trying to re-inject himself down here. We've got Atlantis carriers making their way over here. They're going to find the Zadaika infection spreading along the southern side of the map. Zadaika is actually kind of spread out everywhere. J-Wix, meanwhile, also not out of this game. We see an enormous advantage in the airplay coming out here for Carboom. Meanwhile, Carboom now has Eagle Eyes, which can drop those torpedo bombs. Ooh, J-Wix gets jumped on. I didn't even see that. He was exposed on the land and is going to get jumped on by the Illuminate bombers. Out he goes. Alright, and suddenly this is becoming a much closer game than I anticipated. Honestly, it's weird, but I think Carboom is probably in the best position right now. If he can severely hamper Avasi... Actually, never mind. Oh my god, Avasi, what is this? Jesus Christ. Avasi is very much able to fight this in the air. He's just deliberately choosing not to do so. Better believe all these guys, yeah, they're down there producing fighters. And they're going to eject those fighters all at once and take complete control over the air. And once the fighters are launched, he's going to have them building either gunships or bombers. And once those are in the air, those are going to go deal the damaging blow. Avasi is very much in the lead right now. Very much. Meanwhile, Zadaika is presenting a much steeper problem for Foxmelon than I think Foxmelon anticipated. Yeah, look at how much infrastructure has gone for Foxmelon here to just a steady stream of UEF Navy. Poseidons and Mastodons coming out in a steady line, forcing him to split his attention with his air forces. I think he should ignore this, sacrifice the base for a little bit, and just go kill him with the gunships. Ignore all this, kill the production, kill the energy, blow up as much as you can. You're not going to find the commander right now, but you don't need to. Just shut him down again, force him to restart yet again, and that'll take so long that he won't be able to come back from it. Meanwhile, Carboom, yeah, Sky Factory spam, pulling away from this fight with Avasi. Maybe he doesn't realize the true horror of what Avasi is doing down here. I don't think he does. This is absurd. This is absolutely batshit insane. Avasi is creating a monstrosity of epic proportions. All right, you have to understand the insanity of what's happening here. Carboom's making a mistake. He needed to continue to pressure Avasi. I don't know what's happening in the chat for this match. Right, we can't see the chat, whatever was being said during the match, because the chat doesn't save for the replay. So perhaps there was some diplomacy being engaged here to draw Carboom to go fight Foxtermelon instead. But I think Carboom is making a mistake if he wants to win this match. He needs Foxtermelon alive right now. He needs Foxtermelon on his side against this nightmare that is Avasi on the other side of the map. Not to mention if he kills... Yeah, he's actually not even going to manage to fight over here. This is going to be a pretty rough fight for him. If he kills Foxtermelon, now Zadaika's free to come back into the game, and then you got your pincer between two very good players. And let's look at the situation here. Zadaika's positioned himself such that if he gets the chance to come back into this game, he's going to be able to take it. Now, interestingly, we do have Avasi aware now of the Zadaika problem, as we'll call it, and sending Atlantis carriers with torpedoes just very slowly, taking out infrastructure here and there, maybe looking for the commander who was over here exposed. And Foxtermelon is going to get ejected. Oh man, going to be forced to go into the escape pod here. Are these Sky Factories enough? They're losing health awful fast, but so is that health pod. Oh boy, oh no, just barely not enough. Foxtermelon gonna go down to this last little bit of health on that Sky Factory. The last few missiles are gonna impact him in the head, and his escape pod's gonna detonate with him inside it, ejecting him from this game, which is a 3-player game now. And now all of a sudden, oh boy, all of a sudden the game speed's caught back up, and I can reduce it to a more normal level. Zadaika is in position now to retake the entirety of the North and South American continents. Nukes coming out of Carboom now to try to do something, having recognized this absolute nightmare. Sees these in the water, is going to try to nuke them, but guess what? These things have a lot of health, and unless you impact them directly, that yeah, he's going to get, what, 2? 3 for his troubles there? 2 nukes, 3 Atlantises, and look at how many Atlantises are actually out about. Avasi's about to run away with this game, guys. This is about to be horrendous. Absolutely horrendous, and he's aware of the threat, and guess what he's going to do? There's no boomerangs over here. He's got 1, 2, 3, 4. He's got 9 silos. Is that? I think. Yeah, 9 silos just in this one little section to drop nukes all over Zadaika's face, and there's going to be precious little Zadaika can do about it. He has Tiger Shark submarines being produced now to try and do something about these Atlantises. The Atlantises are going to surface, and they actually don't have the worst damage I've ever seen. Bomber's gonna get ejected from these Atlantis before they go down. Recognizing that these guys are gonna die, he's gonna eject the bombers so that they can go out and do work. Perhaps recognizing that these guys still might be in some trouble versus all these Tiger Sharks. Gonna let them kill as much as they can before they go. Bomber's gonna go off to make sure Zadaika isn't expanding, and indeed he's not. He's not been able to get the engineers out. They're on the way now, but the unsupported and unprotected like this, they're gonna be free pickings for bombers. Oh boy, here we go. There it is. There it is. Nukes 1, and they're gonna go straight after Zadaika. Just like I said they would. Zadaika doesn't have any boomerangs, and Avasi knows it. This is it. Nuclear Armageddon being had here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Off they go. Probably going to carpet nuke the entire southern side of the map as best as he can manage. Oh, yeah. Boom! A lot of this production in the south is going to go down completely. Now, it's worth noting that there wasn't actually a whole lot here in terms of Zadaika's economy, but a lot of this map control is going to get shut down now. He doesn't have the building infrastructure to support the units he's got out here. Reinforcements will take a long time to get there. By the way, guys, if you haven't seen this map, make no mistake, this map is enormous. This is, I think, the largest map we've seen. I'm pretty sure Seaton's Clutch fits in like this screen or something like that, something crazy. It was the comparison. It was Titan, I think, who gave me the comparison that Seaton's Clutch is like the Europe and Asia continent. That's kind of it. Um, maybe that's a little bit exaggerated, but either way, the map is gigantic, huge. So yeah, reinforcements are going to take a very long time to get out to these positions. Bombers now are going to go looking for that commander. I have to imagine. They actually flew right over top of him. If Avasi saw this, these bombers with torpedo upgrade can go kill him right now. Like right now. 6 nukes going to come out in unison. You know what that means? They're being fired at the same position. He's hoping to overwhelm an anti-nuke and blow up something critical. We do have stacked anti-nukes here, right here, though. Curious to see what these are going for. Carboom, meanwhile, is keeping his mouth shut and continuing to produce Sky Fortresses and Cybern Gemini fighters. See what these are going after. See if they get through. Carboom trying to scout and understand the extent of the hell he is in with the Vasi, and it's a lot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, nope. Got 2 anti-nukes there now, so the 6 nukes are not enough to overwhelm the 1. I think that's the number you need to overwhelm a single anti-nuke is 6 nukes. They can stock enough to shoot them down, but they can't fire them fast enough. I believe is the way that shakes out. So you need 6 per anti-nuke, I guess. I don't know. I don't know how that works out when you have multiple anti-nukes in the same place. Is it just a linear 6 per anti-nuke to overwhelm it, or what? Either way, yep, gonna control K all of this and not give away the research points, although I'm not sure that matters at this point. Gonna control K all of this stuff. I just watched that. Avasi gonna control K all this stuff on the land, perhaps recognizing that the bombing run would be coming in. Gonna consolidate his efforts into the water. Yeah, you know what? I'm not sure about that. I wonder what that was about. Misclick, maybe? Gonna lose a significant energy economy there to that. Oh, it's worth noting Avasi is still making plenty. Now gonna be run over by the rest of these mega fortresses. Yeah, gonna lose the rest of his land positions up there. Moving to engage Zadaika. Of all people, Zadaika has come back into this match as a credible threat. And not just credible, but like increasingly viable. Zadaika is not willing to give up this match just yet. With everyone dead except Avasi and Carboom, yeah, I mean, why not? Looking to figure out what is going on over here in the Australian continent, and he's gonna find nuke silos and experimental air gantries. Yeah. Bombers and mass Atlantis gonna take care of this. Imagine Poseidon's. Nah, we mass spam Atlantis carriers now. That is my navy. That is his entire navy. This is crazy. Oh. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. 17 nukes. Did I count that right? 8 there. 8 there. 17 nukes. Yep. Okay. Cool. 17 nukes. Out and away across the map, hoping to do some terrible damage, I guess, to Zadaika. We'll see if it's enough. Meanwhile, Carboom is done with your shit, Avasi, and he is coming in with the bombers to clean up everything he can find. These nuke silos are forfeit. These air gantries are forfeit. I imagine, though, that there's enough Atlantis carriers to not care. Avasi is floating 22,000 mass, so him losing his land base doesn't actually matter yet. He can continue producing out of these Atlantises for a little while. Oh my god, did all of those nukes get shot down? They did. Every single nuke got shot down, all 17. 5 stacked anti-nukes over here will do that, I guess. I seem to have lost game audio. Nope, just super zoomed out. Alright. Go ahead and speed this game up again. We're up to 1 hour and 20 minutes in this match. Jesus Christ. Speed this up. No commanders located or snipeable. Carboom not uh not really interested in expanding, at least not super quickly. It looks like he's got a single engineer working on it slowly. I can't believe. I wonder what the rationale is here. Avasi has abandoned his land positions completely. Didn't bother with anti-air. Hasn't launched the air forces out of all these Atlantises, and is migrating instead. Just migrating. Looks like he intends to go handle this business with Zadaika extremely personally as he migrates slowly his entire military over there. Now, I do want to point out there is not enough shielding and anti over here to save Carboom. If somebody could scout Carboom, there is enough bombers here to kill him. I think there at least certainly could be. It would only take one or two bombing passes that just kill Carboom instantly here. If he doesn't have the escape pod, it would be a death sentence. Curious to see that, because I really don't think he's got the protection on the commander here that everybody else does, and he's not hiding in the water. So air could just snipe him for free. That's just like what happened to J-Wix over here on Greenland. Meanwhile, Zadaika slowly bringing himself completely back into this game, is taking all of the mass in South and North America and Africa and Europe. And he's taking them with the UEF engineers so that they get guns on them. That's brilliant. I love that. Gonna give them the guns. Because why not? Why wouldn't you? Avasi, meanwhile, is completely migratory now. He officially has no buildings or engineers. It is just him, his ACU, a single radar, and a gargantuan fleet of Atlantis aircraft carriers, which are slowly producing more and more air units. He is making a whole 1 mass and 5 energy per second. And the funniest part is it kind of doesn't matter. Not yet, anyway. He will eventually run out here if he doesn't do something to kill at least one of these guys really quickly. One of these guys have got to die if he wants a chance of winning. Because otherwise, they're just going to spiral out of control. Zadaika, in particular, is poised to just rapidly escalate beyond anyone's control here. Yeah, Carboom's going to go scout this, wondering what's up, and realize that this is a hellish nightmare to try to attack, I think. Yeah, oh my god. Without the Hollow Flare upgrade on those Illuminate fighters that were saving Foxmelon before, look at all those bombers just instantly disintegrate in the face of all these Crawdads. Jesus Christ. Complete and instantaneous disintegration. And just like that, Avasi has crapped out 1,000,000 fighters. Maybe he deleted all these guys and then all the buildings for unit cap purposes. That's something I forgot about. This could be a unit cap thing. Look, his mass is going up. He's not building units because he's at unit cap. Oh my god, that's literally what it is. He's at unit cap and is going to devote all of that unit cap to winning air. Winning air is the only thing that matters to him now, and he's got the wasps and production capabilities to do it. He's going to go look for what's over here. The main base. He's going to find some bombers. He's going to find some fortresses. And not a whole lot else. Yeah. In fact, I think Carboom is about to be in trouble. I mean, I just not realized it yet. He needs to get his fighters over here to do something. Does Avasi have a hit squad, though? No, he doesn't. He'll be producing one with these carriers, though. As these fighters die, more bombers and gunships can be produced to go after the commander with. So now he wants to engage the enemy fighter cloud, is my guess. Yeah. Gonna engage the enemy fighter cloud, kill as many enemy fighters as he can while he sacrifices his life. And then we're gonna see either gunships or bombers come out of these aircraft carriers. There's some bombers. There we go. And then he can go in for the kill on the commander. Meanwhile, Zadaika taking over the map. Just completely taking it over. He's floating 18,000 mass, 20,000 mass. Can't even spend it fast enough at this point. Building... Oh my god. Oh no, Zadaika. I can't believe Zadaika might win this. That's hilarious. He was one of the first ones to get forced into the back foot, and Fox Rebellion left him alone. Not going to be able to force fire the aircraft carriers. I can only assume that it is at least vaguely possible. Maybe in shallow water, but not here, it doesn't look like. Yeah. Just doesn't quite reach far enough under the water, I don't think, to get the kill. Damn. Super unfortunate for him. Well aware of what's coming, too. Choosing not to react so far, though. No unit cannons getting produced now. A small fighter blob over here. I'm gonna notice that, oh hey, Zadaika is everywhere. Maybe I should start killing some of these mass extractors that he's just been building for free as he conquers half the map. Avasi running out of mass now. 9,000 mass. Available for use. What's he gonna do? He can't leave. Definitely no way he can get out of the water now. Oh, the bomber's gonna come out at the worst time. But there may be so many of them that it doesn't matter. Gonna go straight for that commander. There he is. Carboom. In trouble. Gonna jump jet away. Trying to get under shielding. Gonna hunker. Bombers are going down, left, right, and center. Carboom's gonna live through this, and Avasi's out of mass. I don't know that he's... Yeah, he's gonna try to build a factory, get an engineer out, and go build some mass extractors. Oh, man. Engineers going out all over the place for Carboom, yeah. Only to be met with UEF mass extractors. They're gonna slowly kill these engineers off. This is pretty funny. I gotta say. And gonna be forced to walk away. This is probably the maximum range of this unit cannon you're seeing, by the way. This distance right here. So I think this is this being this image right here being the size of Seaton's is probably actually pretty accurate. It's right here. Being Seaton's is probably pretty close. Maybe more like this. I don't know. Difficult to gauge the actual distance without the map itself. There's no really unit of measurement present to gauge it with, so I'm just kind of eyeballing. Oh boy, and there's the fighter wave.
Strategic launch detected. Strategic launch detected.
Oh boy.
Strategic launch
Oh boy.
detected.
And suddenly Avasi has air control. Wow. Just like that. He also doesn't have any mass. But he's got engineers going to solve that problem right now. Boy. Nuke's happening. Oh man, looks like he caught the Sky Fortresses here. That's super unfortunate there for Carboom. Carboom should know he's in trouble. Where's the bombers? Where are they at? Bombers are gunships. Jesus Christ, Zadaika's gonna win, isn't he? I mean, look at this. Oh yeah. I don't even think Carboom
Strategic launch detected.
died there. I think he controlled Cade because he knew what was happening. And that's gonna bring it to a 1v. Oh boy. Oh no.
Strategic
Oh
launch
no.
Strategic launch detected.
Oh my god.
Strategic launch detected. Strategic launch detected.
Alright, William Gage.
Strategic launch detected. Strategic launch detected. Strategic
Zadaika is now William Gage Jr.
detected.
He's not even playing as Siren. Horrifying. Oh yeah. Yeah. Oh no. Lavasi. Lavasi, I don't think it's happening, Chief. I don't think it's happening, Chief. Oh shit! I didn't even see this. Look at all these sky fortresses that have come up out of these factories in the last couple minutes. Jeez. All those nukes, and he still has this many Atlantis aircraft carriers. It's kind of crazy. Alright, guys. Finish it up. Avasti trying desperately to come back into this game. There's the bomber wave! There he goes. That is so many sky fortresses. Holy hell. Bomber squadron's getting split off and moved into position. Go look for that commander. Funnily enough, the commander is exposed, so if he finds him in time, he might actually be able to get him. But only if he finds him.
Strategic launch detected.
Yeah, he's running for cover. He's gonna find him. There he is. No, Avasi. Avasi, no, you missed him. Avasi, you missed him. He's right there. Avasi, no. Dive, 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 dive. I think the commander teleported. Nope, he's just walking. Avasi can't find him. Avasi can't find the commander to drop the torpedo bombs. No. Oh boy. You're never gonna be able to surf us again. There he goes! He found him! He found him! Uh-oh! But now he's under the main anti-air batteries. And he's under a lot of shields. There's not enough bombers now. These Atlantises have torpedoes. He can try to go in with the Atlantises themselves. But as he gets closer and closer, it's going to be more and more likely that the nukes can hit him. There it goes.
Strategic launch.
There it goes.
Strategic launch detected.
Those in 4, 5, 6. Oh boy. Lost a bunch there. That's unfortunate. I don't know that he's got the projection of force necessary for this anymore. Oh, that's tragic. Hitboxes, hitboxes. Commander's exposed again. Daika. An unnecessary risk there, I think. But, I mean, look at what position he's in. Really matter? This is pretty funny. I mean...
Commander destroyed.
Oh. Avasi's gonna control K, it looks like. There we go, ladies and gentlemen, a nearly 2-hour replay. Holy hell. That hurt my head slightly. But there you go. There you have it. That was an awesome long match on Holy Terra between some very, very strong players. Let me know what you guys think of casting these free for all matches. I know a lot of casters do the shorter videos, like the 1v1s and the 2v2s. Obviously, I'm still going to be casting those. I'll still be casting the tournaments, but I really love free for alls. I think they're fun and chaotic. If you've got some free for alls, long or short, they don't all need to be this long, I promise. But if you've got some free for all matches you want me to cast, feel free to send a message to me on Discord and send them my way. In the meantime, thank you all so much for watching. We'll see you in the next video. Cheers.